Hi, welcome to MetdiaGem Corporation. My name is Scott Britton, and today I will be demonstrating my company's newly updated mobile gemology software application, MetdiaGem for Android. If you have an iOS or Windows 8 phone device, you may view a demonstration of MetdiaGem for both by going to www.metdi.com/products/MetdiaGem. This video will demonstrate the application and the new interface and features added to MetdiaGem version 1.2.2, taken from suggestions from users like yourself. I know you're eager to see MetdiaGem in action, so let's get started. If you're an experienced Android user, the native feel of Android is continued in MetdiaGem. The same gestures used to control other Android applications apply here. Please do not be offended if I explain the motions in more detail for other not-so-experienced Android users. I will not be demonstrating the installation and data files download process associated with MetdiaGem. However, I will note that upon new installation, the application will connect with our company servers on the internet to download the application's data content. Unfortunately, Google Play does not allow applications over 50 megabytes in size to be uploaded to its cloud on the internet, so almost all applications available for download on Google Play implement some method to retrieve data files, as this is usually the biggest portion of an application. I would rather have the data files bundled with the application and avoid the extra download because it creates a fragmented experience for our users, but at the moment that is not possible. Hopefully that will change in the future. I will begin our discussion of MetdiaGem by giving you a little background information about how we arrived at the design for the application. When we began the process of designing and building MetdiaGem, we used the principle of drill down in determining how we were going to deliver information to you. We chose to go from the most general of information to the most specific of information in as few steps as possible and in the most logical fashion. Because the application runs on mobile devices, the limited screen real estate of a smartphone dictated how we chose to flow information on and down a single screen and between screens. As you push new screens of information from the right, in most cases, more specific information is displayed and vice versa. MetDie's overall design is as gracefully balanced as the information allows. Let's begin the demonstration by clicking the MetdiaGem launch icon and display the main menu by swiping from the left edge of the screen to the right, close to the top of the screen. MetdiaGem uses a navigation drawer to present the application's menu because it effectively and efficiently saves screen real estate. This is especially important for devices with smaller screens. In some versions of Android, you may also open and close the navigation drawer by clicking the MetdiaGem application icon in the title bar. As you can see, I have 9 menu choices: species, varieties, images, search, melting temperatures, specific gravities, weight converter, glossary, and about. We will cover the first 8, with the last one being information about the application itself. I will start our exploration of the application by clicking the species row first. This displays a list of gem species names sorted in alphabetical order. Information presented in list fashion in MetdiaGem is normally presented alphabetically by topic. Let's select corundum by swiping upward from the bottom of the screen to the top and rolling the list down the alphabet until we reach it. Clicking it causes corundum species detailed information home screen to be displayed. As you can see, some of corundum standard species information is listed from top to bottom. I want to stop here for a moment and note 3 key points before I go any further. First, you may see an icon that looks like a blue arrow inside a yellow circle like the one displayed in the toughness row. If you remember on the previous screen, the corundum row had the same icon in the same place. This will always mean there is more information to be disclosed and that the item is clickable. From this point forward, we will call this icon the disclosure icon. Second, you may always reverse course by clicking the back button on your device. It's pretty hard to get lost in MetdiaGem. Third, just because you see a limited amount of information visible does not always mean there's a limited amount of information available. Some devices have a limited amount of screen real estate to work with, and scrolling down and or clicking an item sometimes opens up more information. Just keep this in mind when you're using the application. Depending on your device, scrolling down the screen shows more corundum species detailed information grouped by type of information. If we go to the reaction properties section, we see the disclosure icon in the heat reactions row. Clicking it allows more detailed heat reaction information to be displayed, and we can see how corundum reacts to being heated. Clicking the back button on the device takes us back to the corundum species detailed information home screen, where we can continue our examination. Just to reinforce the concept that you may maneuver back and forth between information, I will click the light and chemical reaction properties for corundum now. Continuing on, a unique feature to MetdiaGem is the ability to view the varieties of a species by scrolling through the species detailed information home screen to the bottom and clicking on the varieties row, as I will do now. Although you could open the navigation drawer, select the Gem Varieties menu option, and scroll down alphabetically till you find any variety of corundum, such as ruby. You can instead click the varieties row in the species detailed information home screen, and a list of varieties will be presented, as I will show you now by going back a screen. Furthermore, clicking any of the varieties in this screen will take you to the variety detailed information home screen for the selected row, which I will cover in a moment. For now, I will return to the species detailed information home screen. Continuing our demonstration, I'm going to scroll through the gem varieties list and select ruby to keep with our corundum theme, but I'm going to temporarily pause the video because there are literally hundreds of varieties contained in MetdiaGem. Now that I've selected ruby, you can see the properties and a list of other options that lead to more information for this variety of corundum. Depending on your device, you may need to scroll up and down to view all information and options. Let's begin with the row labeled Species. Clicking it displays the Species Detailed Information home screen for corundum via the Ruby Variety Detailed Information home screen, as I will demonstrate now. This brings up a point I want to note here. Each type of information can be reached from the other because each links to the other. By doing this, we have allowed you to access all the information about a particular species or variety without having to search two different screens of information. In addition, you only need to know one piece of information to retrieve all information, such as knowing what a ruby is, but not that it is a variety of corundum, and vice versa. Let's go back to the Ruby Variety Detailed Information home screen and click on the Images row. This opens a screen showing two thumbnail images for Ruby. As I will demonstrate, clicking one of the images slides in a full-size version of the selected thumbnail. I am going to stop here for a moment to discuss a feature added in MetdiaGem version 1.2.1. Opening the navigation drawer, we see the Images menu selection under the Variety menu selection. Clicking the Images menu selection displays a list of varieties that have at least one example image stored in the application. As I will demonstrate, scrolling down and clicking Ruby shows the same screen of thumbnail images that we previously viewed upon selecting the Images row in the Ruby Variety Detailed Information home screen. We implemented this feature because it allows you to view images for a variety quickly in a couple of steps or to associate variety information with a visual example. Let's go back to the Ruby Variety Detail Information home screen, scroll down and select the Color Information row. We see that rubies are red, of course, and it has the disclosure icon at the end of its row. This brings up a point that I want to note here. Many varieties come in different colors, and MetdiaGem lists the individual attributes for each individual color for variety. Although rubies are only red, if we are viewing fancy sapphire colors, for example, each individual color that fancy sapphires come in would be listed, and clicking a specific color would show the specific color properties for the selected hue. Since the red hue is the only primary color for rubies, clicking it shows the color properties for the corundum ruby variety. Let's return to the Ruby Variety Detailed Information home screen by clicking the back button twice and then scroll down and select the Confused with Information row. A screen slides in displaying a list of other varieties that Ruby is typically confused with. Let's scroll down and click on Spinel. This brings up the Variety Detailed Information home screen for Spinel. You may view all the same information for Spinel that you viewed for Ruby, including species information, even though it was reached from the Ruby Variety Detailed Information home screen. Let's go back to the Ruby Variety Detailed Information home screen by clicking the back button twice and then scroll down and click the Separations Information row. A screen slides in displaying a list of other varieties that Ruby typically needs to be separated from. Clicking rhodolite, for example, lists the tests that need to be performed to separate ruby from rhodolite. Notice the disclosure icon to the right of the polariscope reaction test. Clicking this shows additional information pertinent to this particular test. Let's return to the Ruby Variety Detailed Information home screen by clicking the back button 3 times and then scroll down and click on the Enhancement Information row. A screen slides in and displays a list of the typical Ruby enhancement methods. Notice there are 3 different heating enhancement methods listed. This is not an error. Each lists separate characteristics and results for heating Ruby. As I will demonstrate, clicking each of the 3 heating methods lists different information for each method. Let's switch gears and look at the other screens now. Opening the navigation drawer, we will skip the image menu selection because I've already discussed it and concentrate on the search menu selection. Many of our users asked for search capability and it was added to MetdiaGem version 1.2.1. You have the ability to search using up to 22 search parameters and endless numbers of combinations. Clicking the search menu selection, you can get an idea of the available search parameters as I scroll down the screen. Scrolling back to the top, we will start a new search by selecting that our search must include all parameters entered. In addition, we will select color restrictions of red and blue, a refractive index that must be greater than or equal to 1.7, and an optic type restriction that the variety must be doubly refractive. Clicking the results button retrieves a list of varieties that meet all of the search criteria, sorted in alphabetical order, first by variety name and second by species name. If I scroll down the list, we notice that ruby is included in the results. Clicking it brings up the ruby variety detailed information home screen. And from previous experience, we know that we may access both the variety and species information as demonstrated earlier. We have truly worked to allow you to tailor your search as broadly or as narrowly as you need, making it a very, very powerful tool to access information quickly. Moving forward and opening the navigation drawer, the melting temperatures information home screen lists melting temperatures for metals commonly used in the jewelry industry, along with some other comparison materials in both Celsius and Fahrenheit. The specific gravity information home screen is the sister to the melting temperatures information home screen, except it shows specific gravity information for the same materials. I will slowly scroll through both screens now for a demonstration of the information they contain. Opening the navigation drawer and clicking the Convert menu selection, this helpful tool allows you to enter a numeric weight, select a base weight measurement unit, and the other fields below automatically recalculate to the equivalent weight in their respective units. As you see on my screen, kilograms is a currently selected field. Clicking the number in the text box at the top of the screen brings up a numeric pad where you may enter a new number. As you type the new number, the other fields automatically update. If I enter 2, the other fields below automatically change. Hitting enter hides the keyboard. If I select a different unit of measure, such as carats, you will again see all the fields change. One final note that I'll bring up here, the calculator is accurate to 6 decimal places. If you get an answer of 0 in one of the fields while one or more of the other fields show a non-zero number, it may be because that particular field is beyond the range of the calculator. In addition, we have received many requests for the ability to view the actual weight conversion formulas so that our users could manually compute conversions. In responding to these requests, this feature was added in MetdiaGem version 1.2.1. To demonstrate this feature, if I want the formula to convert grams to kilograms, I can simply choose grams as the base unit, and then scroll down and click the kilograms row. This will slide in a screen showing the formula for the conversion. Furthermore, each of the weight units listed in the MetdiaGem application have the conversion formulas for all other weight units for completeness. Finally, opening the navigation drawer and selecting the glossary menu selection displays the MetdiaGem Gemological Dictionary. The dictionary includes terms used throughout this application and Gemology as a whole. It is written so that gemological terms are explained at both a high and low level for all to understand. For example, if I scroll down and click on the refractive index entry, a screen slides in that includes both the formal definition and a description using the straw in the glass principle to reinforce the concept. It is content for both the experienced and the beginner. That concludes my demonstration of MetdiaGem version 1.2.2 for iOS. I hope you have found this video to be informative and enlightening. If you have any questions or comments about the software, suggestions to improve the software, or feature requests for future releases, please feel free to email me at the email address listed at the end of this video. Thank you for watching.